Today I want to talk about the RCE exploit that happened on PC over 2 weeks ago, and it's slowly starting to reach mainstream audience. I am noticing a lot of misleading talks and uninformed opinion on the topic. As much as what I'm about to say might not be received well, someone has to do it. Let's start by giving a quick breakdown of what's going on. It was recently brought to the public that major vulnerabilities such as RCE exploits, short for remote code execution, could be initiated from online interaction in Souls games. These are major potential risks for anyone playing these games online on PC. A malicious actor could do a lot of damage to your system and even go as far as stealing personal information, injecting a ransomware into your machine, or sneaking a keylog software to eventually steal your money. In short, RCE exploits are as serious as it gets in terms of threat for a consumer product, or I mean any product for that matter. Now that you understand the gravity of an RCE exploit, let me tell you something you don't know. Did you know that these exploits have always been present in every Souls games to this day, going back as far as 2009 when Demon's Souls was released? Yet we've never had words of anyone falling victim to such exploit originating from any Souls game. And quite frankly, you wouldn't really necessarily know if you were victim of such an attack either, depending on what the attackers actually decides to do. Did you also know that RCE exploits have been present in games such as Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, as well as other COD games? Also, many other games might be subject to RCE exploits if put under a bit more scrutiny. Why am I telling you this? Somehow the story has been morphed in a way that does not really represent what's going on. The narrative has been pushed in a way that says that it's a Fromsoftware issue, whereas it's much more of a widespread issue in the gaming world than this. And these exploits are present in a lot more games that you might think. Also, if you read some of these articles talking about the RCE exploit found in Dark Souls 3, you'll most likely come across something that goes along the line of Fromsoftware was informed of this like a month before this went public, or we have brought these issues to Fromsoftware in 2020 and they didn't do anything. Honestly, this really does not give the full picture. What this doesn't tell you is that the person responsible for the exploit, who did everything right by the way, and they should be rewarded for what they've done. Anyway, they, a complete stranger, sent email and documentation to Fromsoftware about the issue with their game. An issue so serious, and it's been present for their game for over 10 years, that no one took notice of until 2020. Like, try to digest that for a little bit. Now, I want you guys to do something for me. Imagine you're that person responsible for customer support at, like, I don't know, Fromsoftware headquarters, and you basically read messages all day about people telling you how to fix your shitty netcode in your 5-year-old game. And then comes an email telling you that your game has been doomed for over 10 years and it's basically a ticking time bomb with a bunch of detailed information on how the technical issue is. On what the technical issue is. Right now, it's easy to play the hero and said, like, oh yeah, as the customer representative, I would have reported this issue and I would have made things right. But when you start adding the fact that you're dealing with a foreign company who's notorious for barely speaking English, I'm not sure I would have expected much out of this. If I tell you right now, yeah, you have a bomb in your car and it's been there for over 10 years and your garages didn't notice it, like, would you believe me? Even if I sent you detailed plan on how to locate it? I mean, the point is, like, customer support aren't, like, very tech-savvy people. Not in the slightest, actually. While it's their job to report sensitive information, their main job is actually to filter out the garbage emails that get sent to them all day long. So, with that being said, this is going a bit on a tangent here. I don't want to defend the customer support at either Bandai Namco or Fromsoftware. I mean, it's their fault for the issue in the first place. What I want you to understand is that there's really only one way to get such a serious message across, such as the presence of an RCE exploit, and it's to go public, which thankfully the actor who discovered the exploit did. He had the courage to put this forth and also found a way, which is a lot harder than it might sound. He found a way to attract attention on this topic. Again, all props to them. But then we get to the part where I personally have a problem with. About a day and a half after the issue went public, Fromsoftware took action and shut down the online components of all Souls games on PC. Which not only was the right thing to do, they did act swiftly. Yet the narrative is that it's like this whiny tone where they knew about it already and it wasn't until it went public that they took action. While exploits like these have been like public in COD games for a long time, and online components for any COD game has never been shut down because of it. Here we get a situation where the company does things right, which is swiftly shut down the potential issue as soon as they're made aware of it. Then we get an announcement about easy anti-cheat that's going to be integrated into Elden Ring shortly after. It's like, what else do you want? Like, do you want like a time machine for them to not have the issue in the first place? Well, obviously. Like, do you want them to publicly say that it will get fixed and like hurt their sale in the process, bringing this issue in the spotlight to, like, I don't know, outlets like IGN? Like, this would make absolutely no sense. No, they're doing everything right now. I'm going to be honest here. I don't know what easy anti-cheat will prevent other than like the small things like cheat engine and stuff like that. I'm not sure to what extent this will address the current RCE exploit. A lot of people seem to worry that Elden Ring might launch with the RCE exploit, making a comeback on day one, given how the string of codes taken from the PlayStation Network test indicate that Elden Ring functions the same as Dark Souls 3. However, this is not chronologically sound. The build of Elden Ring's network test cannot possibly have addressed this issue in the first place because the RCE exploit was not even known at the time of the network test. Only the person who reported the issue really knew about it. So this is where I think a lot of the mainstream coverage participate in like spreading misinformation on this. You get vid popping off like, this could ruin Elden Ring on launch day, Elden Ring cheating problem, Elden Ring may have huge security issues, and get these vids with thousands of views. While none of these titles are technically false though, like they all give this false impression that it won't be fixed at launch. And I'm telling you right now, it would be foolish after the online components for all Souls game got shut, after the announcement of easy anti-cheat being implemented, that Elden Ring will launch on PC with the exploit being there. If anything, there's really two possibilities. It's been confirmed that the release date will stay the same. One possibility is that it launches with the RCE fixed. The other possibility that it launches without the online component for PC. And I'm personally leaning toward a normal launch, given that it will have easy anti-cheat, so it won't be a hellscape at launch. And this brings us to consoles. For some reason, consoles have been getting mixed. I've been getting mixed into all of this. While it was said that the RCE exploit could potentially be a thing on console, this is not entirely true. As Lance McDonald said on Twitter, there isn't much you can leverage from console OS. While on paper it could be possible, it's extremely unlikely and not considered like a potential risk. To conclude, despite all of this, I think it's important to appreciate what Fromsoftware is. I'd like to remind you that From has never really been the most tech-savvy studio out there. They've always been a bit iffy on the coding side. Fromsoftware is an artist studio. The folks at Fromsoftware are artists. They have a vision and they do everything they can to execute it. I think people should appreciate the dying breed of studios that are Fromsoftware, especially in this day and age where everything is built on a pricing and psychological model to extract money from customers instead of being an actual art piece. I think it's okay to put the blame on Fromsoftware for the exploit. It's warranted, but let's not forget that they've also acted quickly to fix the issue, and that you don't want like studios like these to completely disappear. So yeah, do support them. All right, that's it.